Hello everyone, I cordially welcome you all to another video from the Python tutorial series, and in this video we are going to learn what is exception handling in Python. So without any delay, let's get started. While scripting in Python, you are sure to encounter some alert messages. Some of them can be errors and others can be exceptions. But unknowingly, we termed everything as bugs in our code. So as Python developers, when we code any web application or any machine learning model using Python, we may encounter some strange behaviors, and we generally introduce them under the same term, that is bug. But actually, from the deeper perspective, all bugs are not errors, okay? In certain situations, you might face something which is known as exception. So in this video, we are going to learn what are errors, what are exceptions, what are the difference between them, and how we can handle exceptions in Python. So let's go to the main content for today's video. What is an error? Error in Python are nothing but some catastrophic failures which arise due to wrong syntax, foul indentation, or missing code. Example, missing a semicolon after if statement, writing wrong variable names, okay? What is an exception? On the other hand, exception in Python are special situations which arise in our code that needs to be handled tactfully. Example, accessing an index of a list that is invalid, dividing a number by 0. So if you have any knowledge about Java programming, you are already aware about exceptions. Even with C++ you have this concept. So considering you as a beginner, I won't go to those concepts, but here I will teach you everything from scratch. So when I talk about accessing an index of a list that is invalid, that means you are accessing an index of a list which doesn't exist. Suppose a list has 4 items, so its index will be 0, 1, 2, 3, but you want to access its 5th item. So the 5th index of that list does not exist. So in those situations, you will face exceptions. And in this video, I will teach you how to handle this kind of exceptions very gracefully. Okay. Now we come to the main topic for today's video. What is an exception handling? Exception occurrence is very usual while coding in any programming language. But we need to handle those exceptions very well to ensure smooth running of our application. In Python, exceptions are handled by try except block. Okay. So basically, when you code any Python application, it is 100% sure that you will come across exceptions either in some form or the other. And when your code basically comes across this kind of exceptions, the code basically terminates, and it is a very bad feeling. So your code every time must be very fault tolerant. And to make your code fault tolerant, we need to learn how to handle exceptions very gracefully. So I have given you a small clue. In Python, exceptions are handled by the try except block, okay? Let's go to the next slide. So we have learned what are errors, what are exceptions, and how we handle exceptions. I have given you a small hint that we handle exceptions using try except block. So enough of theory we have done. Let's go to VS Code and understand by doing some hands-on. Let's go. Welcome to VS Code. Now I will teach you how we can handle exceptions in Python. So let's start with the first example. So in the first example, I am going to teach you how to handle a basic exception using try except. So here we have a fruits list which contains 3 fruits: mango, guava, apple. So the length of this fruits list is 3 and its index starts from 0, then 1, then 2. Now suppose I want to access the index 3, okay? But index 3 does not exist within this piece of code. So index 3 does not exist because our list itself contains indexes from 0 to 2. So if we try to access the index 3, we will get error. I am showing you how. So I will here simply first try to print fruits 3. That is, fetch me the item that is present at the index number 3. Now if I run this code, you will see our code will fail. It will show index error, list index out of range. The meaning is basically the index which you have provided is out of range for this fruits list because it only contains index from 0 to 2. Such catastrophic failures may happen in your code. So how do we handle that? Let's learn. Whenever you encounter any situation where some catastrophic failures might happen, always write those code within this try block. Okay? So I will write this print statement under this try block. And with try block, we should always have except block. So what will happen when this line print fruits tree will be executed, this exception will be thrown. But as this piece of code is within the try block, this exception will be handled by our except block. And we will see list index does not exist. So if I now run this code, you will see we don't get that stack trace. We will basically see list index does not exist. See, on my terminal, you can clearly see list index does not exist. Okay. So this is how we tactfully and gracefully handle exceptions in Python. So I hope you have learned the basics that we basically wrap our faulty or the code from where exceptions might be thrown within this try block. And with try block, we will always have this except block. And this except block will basically catch these exceptions and execute the instructions which are under this except block. Okay, let's go to the next example. In the next example, I am going to teach you how to handle a particular type of exception. So first you need to understand from a given piece of code or from a given function, many type of exceptions can be thrown. Now it is possible that you want to handle one particular type of exception very carefully. Okay, suppose here I am doing the same thing. I am trying to access an index of this fruits list which doesn't exist. And as we have seen in the previous example, it will throw error, that is index error. Here I am telling my Python code that only if index errors are thrown, like this kind of exceptions are thrown, then only execute this code. Okay. So now if I run this code, you will see the same thing will be printed. Okay. So you might ask, what is the difference between only except and then except followed by index error? So if you write only except, that basically means it can tackle or handle any exceptions in your Python code. Okay. But in case if you want to handle one type of exception in one way and other type of exception in other way, then you should after except specify the type of exception which you want to handle. Okay. Let's go to the next example. In this example, we are going to learn how we can handle multiple exceptions in Python. So here also I have this fruits array. Okay. Here you will see I am not only trying to access the index which does not exist, but purposefully I have written the print in a wrong spelling. Instead of writing print, I have written prnt. Okay. So if I try to access the index which does not exist, it will throw index error. And if anything wrong is written within Python, that is this semicolon is missing or this spelling is wrong, then name error will be thrown. Okay. So when Python interpreter will execute our code, it will first come across the wrong print spelling. And soon it will throw name error. Okay. When name error will be thrown, the control will come to this block and we will see wrong syntax. Okay. Let's run the code and check. See, we are getting wrong syntax. Okay. But now if I correct this spelling and now if I run this code, you will see list index does not exist because from this piece of code, both type of exceptions can be thrown. It can be a name error or it can be an index error. So I am handling two types of exceptions in two different ways. I am telling Python if index error is thrown, print list index does not exist. But in case name error is thrown, print wrong syntax. So depending on the first exception which is thrown, the particular except block will be executed and we will see that particular print statement on our terminal. Let's go to the next example. In this example, we are going to learn how we can raise exceptions in Python. Suppose in a piece of Python code, you manually want to throw an exception. So how do you do that? So here we can do so using this raise keyword followed by the type of exception, that is here I am using value error, and then followed by a pair of parentheses. Okay. So here age is 15. I am writing this piece of code within try block. As I have said, if any piece of code has probability to throw exceptions, always wrap that up within try block. So within try block, I am writing if age less than 18, raise value error. So 15 less than 18, so value error will be raised. And when this value error will be raised, this will be handled by this particular type of except block, and we will see only 18 plus permitted on our terminal. So let's run the code and check. So yes, as you can see, only 18 plus permitted. Okay. Let's go to the next example. This is the last example for today's video, and to understand this example, you need to watch the Oops Using Python video where I have told you how we can implement object-oriented programming using Python. So if you have watched this video, this will be a cakewalk for you. So here I have defined my own exception, that is match error, class match error. Now within a pair of parentheses, I have written exception because match error basically inherits this exception class. Okay. Now I have defined a constructor and I have said when this match error will be invoked, we should pass a message, and this message will be set to its property. Okay. So an instance of this match error class will have a property known as message that will store the particular message that has been passed to it while its creation. Okay. Now here I have defined a variable YouTube channel, and within it I am storing a string TIH. Now within my try block, I am writing if YouTube channel is not equal to tutorials in hand, raise match error, wrong YouTube channel. And when this match error is encountered, you print wrong YouTube channel. Okay. So here what will happen, YouTube channel not equal to tutorials in hand. So TIH not equal to tutorials in hand. This is true, and this match error, which is basically a custom error which we have written, will be raised, and this wrong YouTube channel will be passed as an argument to its constructor. Now this message will contain this message, and the match error instance will have this message property which will store this string. And when this match error will be raised, this will be handled by this particular except block, and we will see wrong YouTube channel on the terminal. So now if I run the code, you will see exactly what I told, wrong YouTube channel. Okay. So I hope with this, your concept about error, exceptions and handling exceptions is totally clear. In case you have any doubt, I will post the link of our blog in the description section below. You can go and check it out. Okay. Let's go back to our presentation. I hope you found this video informative. In case you like the video, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, as that will highly motivate us to bring more videos in future. For any queries, doubts, suggestions or feedbacks, feel free to post them in the comment section. We are going to reply. So thank you for now. See you in the next video. Bye.